and welcome back at Press Freedom TV. I hope you all enjoyed the opening, and we're going on with our program. And this year's conference is particularly unique because it's a real mix of in-person and virtual elements. But what does that mean for you? Let's find out and have a look. The World Press Freedom Conference might be digital this year. It's certainly no less interactive than a real-life conference. When logged in, you will find yourself on the homepage, where you can navigate through all features. We've set up an innovative conference platform on which you can easily view sessions on several channels, some of which translated in French, Spanish and Arabic. Explore our cinema, filled with fascinating films and documentaries about press freedom and related topics. You can also visit the virtual exhibitions or check out the library with interesting reports from our interactive discussions. And of course, the most beautiful part of it all, we can still connect with each other. There are many ways to network with other participants and chat during sessions. And in some sessions, you can even ask live questions. Check out our speakers and sessions and create your own personal conference agenda. On behalf of the World Press Freedom 2020 team, have fun! Yes, and this morning in Hungary there was an online event organized by the Dutch Embassy in partnership with Aktuality.sk, the largest Slovak online news portal with focus on investigative journalism. And according to the international rankings, press freedom and trust in the media are deteriorating quickly in Slovakia, Poland, Hungary and the Czech Republic. In our studio, we welcome journalist Beata Balogova and Peter Bardy, who spoke at the event this morning. Hello to you. So, hi. How did the event go this morning? Peter, you start.
I think it was...
Beata?
Okay, so
this is the fun part of Zoom, isn't it?
I think that the event discussed a lot of interesting issues, and what I appreciated very much that it did stress those aspects that we share in all Visegrad countries. And most importantly, we put enough stress on how endangered the press freedom is in Hungary and how much free media is being suffocated there.
Yes, thanks to your conference, we can say it was the great chance to talk with our colleagues and friends from Hungary, Czech Republic and Poland. And it was really interesting to know that 31 years after revolutions in our countries, because all of us, we were under control of Soviet Union till 1989. We have very similar, but also different issues.
Yes. So what was the main goal of this event, Peter?
For me to know that that independent media in all of these four countries are ready to fight for our trustworthy, for professional journalism, against conspiracy media, or against unresponsible or irresponsible politicians. So we are on the side of truth and fact. This is the most important goal from our discussion.
Yes, and you've probably also spoken about COVID-19, Beata, and during a pandemic, many people also turn to trusted sources. But what are you feeling that the challenges of COVID-19 poses specifically to your region?
The main challenge is that now we have to control the powerful and the government, even in a more sensitive aspect, and how they handle the crisis management. And very often, this criticism is being interpreted as though we are enemies of the nation and we are trying to hold back the government from protecting lives. And so we are often presented as real enemies and irresponsible players of the society, though the opposite is true, because if there were no journalists, I think that it would not be clear if the government is taking irresponsible measures or it is taking measures just to do a PR or just to, please as part of the society. And I think it really showed that how important it is that the media has access to information. Because in Hungary, for example, our colleagues, they cannot even get basic data about the daily infections, basic data about hospital beds. And the COVID, it really makes obvious that without an access of free media to information, it's very difficult to control the powerful.
But how do you deal with that? If you can't have access to that information, is the information turning unreliable, or how do you manage?
Well, through seeking sources. Here in Slovakia, we really try to speak to as many scientists as possible, and we really had to figure out who are the trustworthy scientists and who are the ones who really can work with data. And we have to explain to the public what is the difference between, just saying approximate numbers and what is really giving even depressive numbers to the public. We had to explain so many other issues, what it means. We had to explain statistics, we had to explain health issues. And we had to do it all, very often from an online environment. It really meant that our reporters were not able to talk in person with the sources. Very often the sources were sending us email responses. So it was very difficult to double check the information. And so it all put quite a lot of stress on our operation.
Yes, and Peter, Aktuality.sk is very much an online platform. Do you think that the whole online world is actually helping us, and also in your country, to get this information better across, or is it our enemy?
I hope we are still important. Together with our main competitor, Daily SME, we had in first month after in the first wave of COVID, more than 2 million unique users daily. So I think it was the chance for trustworthy media to show how we are important for journalism and also for the information of citizens. So I hope that it could kick off maybe our better future, but we are still on the beginning, and we see that conspiracy scene doesn't want to lose this fight, and so they spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of fake news, and I think, as I mentioned before, we are at the beginning, and we have to be more stronger and more trustworthy and more powerful to win this fight, and this never-ending story also.
Yeah, and how can we be, as journalists, be working more together against these trolls and misinformation? Do you think we should collaborate more?
I think so. Beata has behind her one hashtag, All for
Yes.
Jan. It was hashtag after the assassination of my colleague Jan Kuciak. So we asked our colleagues and also competitors, including Daily SME, if they want to continue with us to collect all the data and to collaborate with the only target, and they said yes. So I think it can be like a study case for all of us to that collaboration for one great idea is better than fight each other, and who is first, who is more excellent, who is you know what I mean. So I see future of the journalism, of the responsible journalism, in the collaboration.
Yes, and Beata, you're sitting there with the hashtag, and of course it was a very tragic assassination. Does the fact that we can go online can also make us more safe? Like here in Holland, journalists were attacked standing outside of our government building. But going online also means that you can be more anonymous. Is that something that's also the same for you? Or are we always in the picture?
We are always in the picture, I think, but we are exploring it right now. And I think that there are so many aspects that we will be able to evaluate just after a certain time passes, because we really have to figure out how to be authentic when we are meeting online, and how to get through some of the messages, like, as I mentioned, like talking to sources. like without meeting them face to face, still there is more mistrust when you try to talk them over the phone. And I think that for the readers, this is a completely new experience, because this can address, let's say, the younger generation, but we have like a huge group of people 60 plus for whom, for example,
Yes.
like this forum we are meeting right now seems like a complete science fiction, and they would feel very uncomfortable and uncertain how to follow it. So I think that yes, this is a path that leads to future, but we have to explore how to be authentic, how to select the most important topics, and how to really address the issues that can break any difficulties that online presents.
So what was the most important message that came about in your event today? Peter.
As I mentioned before, collaboration and taste to break over all the problems,
Yes.
because we love our work. It's not some mission. A lot of people is talking about journalism like about mission. It's also our work, and we have to do it because we like it, we love it, and it's important. And this is for me the main idea or the main message after this discussion, that our colleagues from Poland, from Hungary, from Czech Republic, and also we from Slovakia, we want to continue.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for being in our studio. Thank you so much for being our guest. Stay safe. Maria Ressa, I saw. What? Hi, Maria. Can you hear
Hello,
me?
so sorry.
No,
I
that's...
can hear you. I didn't realize I was supposed to come.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Say hello to Beata and Peter, the other journalist.
Hello,
we were
Beata.
Hi, we were talking about staying safe and online violence, which is also, of course, a big issue for you and in your documentary. And also, there was a survey amongst journalists, and that said that 20% of all female journalists encounter in real life violence connected to online violence and abuse. What do you think about that? What's your vision on that? Maria?
It's not unexpected. I mean, it's not an unexpected result. The data that we have from the Philippines actually shows that women journalists in our country are attacked at least 10 times more than men.
Yes.
In terms of it's both gendered and I'm sorry, I have another.
That's a phone call. That's your mom. Hi, I saw you.
I think it's just gotten much harder to do our jobs, which also probably tells us that it's more important to do it.
Yes, and that will stay the same always. And you send us a clip. We can't show it anymore because we have too less time. But it said something about journalists becoming activists. And there's quite a negative view on that. What can you tell us about that?
Look, when it is a battle for facts, a battle for truth, journalism is activism, right? And that's really, truly the global problem we face, because the very platforms that deliver the news, Facebook is the world's largest distributor of news. And yet that platform actually incentivizes, if you look at all the research, it shows that lies laced with anger and hate spread faster and further on social media than the facts.
Yes.
So you can actually say that there's a bias against facts and a bias against journalists. So yes, absolutely. I think journalism becomes activism when you are battling for facts.
So maybe besides of being proud of saying I'm a journalist, we should be proud of saying I'm an activist as well.
I think we're all human rights activists to begin with, right? This is inside the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. But I understand, especially for Western news groups. But I came from the same cloth, the same tradition. Mm-hmm. But the new realities we face show us that there are costs for just doing our jobs.
Yes.
Right.
So
I'm just a citizen and I'm being attacked. So how do you
Yes.
deal with that? You move forward as an activist.
yeah. So thank you very much, Maria, for being here. I'm sorry I hadn't had much more time to talk to you, but I have to close it up for now. Thank you. And let me walk you through the program. On Channel 1, you can follow an exciting debate on whether the media can be a driving force towards more tolerance and diverse societies. And Free Press Unlimited will host a session on diversity, inclusiveness in the media. And on Channel 2, we'll be hearing about lessons we can learn from the investigations into the murders of journalists and how we can improve the search for truth, justice, and accountability. Find out in this next inspiring UNESCO-led debate, and I will see you back in the next break. Thank you very much.